Well, hello, and welcome back to Ready Steady Play. How is everybody doing this evening? This is my first live stream of 2024, and I'm pleased to be here to play a solo game for everybody today. Hey, I can see we've got a few people in chat as well. Yeah, it's good to be back live. I think, I'm trying to remember when I did June Imperium Uprising, because I think this could be the first live stream since then, and since we did Thankmas for December 2023 as well. Of course, I've put out some coverage of that, but I'm super happy with how that went, and so grateful to everyone for taking part in that. And now it's good to be back here, playing something new to me at least. Raising Robots. This is a review copy that I was sent by Nauvoo Games, and so it was very kind of them to not only send me a copy of the game, but also the deluxe edition with the Pets expansion as well. So we'll get to have a look at that in just a minute. It is very cute. It is super duper cute. It is designed by Brett Sobel and Seth Van Orden, and it's got art by people with names that I can't. Well, actually, I can do Howard McWilliam. I can't pronounce the other artist's name, unfortunately, but I'll do my best. So, let me just bring that up here, because I can't read my notes on the monitor. Is it written down in here? Oh god, we're off to a good start, aren't we? Have you all missed me? I've missed live streaming. I'm so glad to be back, doing this. Nope, it's not even written down on the rulebook, so I'll just have to squint at the monitor like an old person. Victoria Fajardo. That was my best attempt. So, if you don't know anything about this game, this is a tableau builder. It has been compared to Wingspan. I reject that comparison on the grounds that I mean, I can see why. There are some mechanical similarities, but fundamentally, I'm not sure if this really wants to be, or if that's a comparison that really wants to be made simply by dint of the thematic differences and the way it's sort of presented. I feel like this kind of slides into a level of complexity that is slightly greater than Wingspan's. Not so much in terms of the actual like for hobby gamers, I think this will feel very similar, but I think where Wingspan has a way of grabbing people in a sort of a gateway type way, I'm not quite sure this is going to have that same appeal. But having said that, this does do a few things that I think will make it more appealing to people in the hobby, people who've been in the hobby for a while. It has cards there for Wingspan. Well, Michael, I mean, I understand your flippancy about that. People do tend to just compare tableau builders or engine builders to Wingspan. And that is also an interesting sort of conversation. What is a tableau builder? What is an engine builder? What's the difference? But we won't get into that here too much. Suffice to say that the terms here, a tableau builder is a term used for a game where we're collecting cards and we're putting cards out, typically to gain icons and unlock sort of sets of things. And an engine builder where you're collecting cards with powers or different powers, doesn't need to be cards really, but you're collecting different powers and triggering them in a way that will combo to output resources, points, or things you want in the game. And I do think this does bear more than just a passing mechanical resemblance to Wingspan. But I just think that fundamentally there is sort of an important distinction here, which is the sort of the native complexity of this game is slightly greater. And so I don't know if, I think, you know, this would feel like a logical evolution from a sort of a group that were playing a lot of Wingspan and looking for something slightly different, that we're looking for something very similar, but that offered maybe something a bit more complex to sink their teeth into. So I've got the game set up here, and I've got my player board out, and I've got the rounds and the game tracker over here, and I'll go through all the rules. I'll explain how the game works. It's not too bad for those of us who are familiar with the hobby. I think we'll find a lot of stuff familiar here. If you're not as familiar with the hobby, you might find it a little less accessible, but don't worry, I'll talk you through what's going on. So, in this game, we are inventors, we're building robots, and we're going to be collecting resources to build more robots and sort of ultimately be the best inventor, which we will achieve by having points. There is sort of the points. I mean, there are 8 rounds which are shown here on this board. I didn't actually set these cameras up today. Here we go. There's 8 rounds here, which is tracked by this little wooden robot guy, which is a deluxe piece that came in the deluxe set. The deluxe set basically comes with a ton of wooden pieces and also the Pets expansion. They even sent card sleeves. They sent basically a sort of an all-in of their production, which I was very grateful to them for sending. So we're going to do 4 rounds, and then we're going to do some admin bits, and then we're going to do 4 more rounds, and then we'll proceed to final scoring. And each round is made up of these 5 steps. But there are 3 phases, and the 5 steps are in phase 2. The first phase is called round preparation, and in round preparation you're going to work out just which of these steps you're actually going to get to do once we get to that second phase. And then in the final phase we're going to do a bit of cleanup, a little bit of admin, and then proceed to the next round. So you can see here I've got a hand of 5 cards as well. I'm the blue player, by the way, that's why I've got the blue inventor, but everyone will have the same player board set up here. And this player board is made up of the 3 rows over here and then the steps over here. And you can see that these areas here line up with those steps we just saw on the round board there. And this is actually your inventory, which is where you'll track resources and things. There are these resources in the game. The pink star is victory points. Wherever you see that, that's victory points. We've also got duct tape, which is a wild resource that can be used in lieu of any other resource, which is quite a cute little thing they've done there. I like that. We've got batteries, which we use in place of energy. And energy is unlike the other resources because it is used to power up these 5 steps here. So the amount of stuff we're going to get to do in each step will depend on the energy for that step, which will come from some round preparation we're going to do, but can be topped up with this battery resource here. So we can save that and use it when we want to have a really good design turn, for example, design step, and it's just not manifested. We've also got signals, programming, microchips, and gears. That might not be 100% correct. I apologize. But there we go. So these are the sort of the core resource bits that we're going to be using to actually build robots and things. And all of these will be tracked up here in the inventory, but we'll get some to start in just a moment. So there are these 3 phases of the game, and in the first phase, everyone's going to sort of bid on which round they would actually like to do. And the way this works is that you've got an energy deck here, which is each player will have one, and we'll pick the cards based on the player count to go in here, so that there's roughly sort of a reasonable energy distribution in all of the different decks based on the player counts. And then we've got down here these 5 steps, and what you'll do at the in the first phase of the game is you'll flip over 2 of your energy cards, and every player will do this. And so what we've got here, can I show you with this camera? Maybe I can. So what we've got here are these various different energy cards, and there's 2 things to note about these cards. The first is the energy value in the middle. So this is going to set your energy value for the associated step, which we'll learn about in a minute. And this up here is extra energy. So this card here is actually worth 6. But the extra energy is important, so to make distinct from the 4 sort of standard energy. So we'll learn about the difference between these in a moment. But you'll have 6 with whatever step you put in here. And then over here, we've got 2 energy and 2 bonus energy for each extra energy. So here's what happens. Every player takes their hand of 5 cards that they've got here, which match the 5 steps. And in secret, we assign 2 cards to our energy here. And then we flip these over once everyone's selected. And those are going to be the 2 steps that we're going to get to do. So in this case, we've chosen to do upgrade and design. And we're going to get to do a 4 energy upgrade step and a 2 energy design step. That's fine. But in addition to that, anyone who has a card with these plastic tokens on will assign those tokens to the communal board here into the step that they've chosen. So we put down 2 energy up here to show the 2 bonus energy from this card to show that we've done that. And now every player at the table will get to do an upgrade step using this energy. So every player will get to do an upgrade step with 2 energy in it, but you get to add the 4 energy here. So you get 6 energy for the upgrade step, but the deal here is every player gets to do it. So you might find that another player played a similar card into Fabricate. It's got 1 on it, for example. And what that means is that we're going to get to do a Fabricate action ourselves with 1 energy. Bearing in mind that if we have this opportunity, that might be a good time to deploy some energy resource if we've got any in our inventory to boost that action. So this is kind of the core sort of round structure of the game here. Every time there's potential to do up to 5 steps, but chances are you're going to get to do 2, at least 2, but up to all 5, depending on what cards players have played and what energy they have out. And you can look around the table before these are picked to look for these energy markers on people's cards, and then you know that whatever they put down here, you're going to get to do that action if you, in addition to what you've chosen. You know, if everybody played upgrade, then, you know, that's going to get flooded with energy, but nobody gets to do an extra action. Or no, an extra step. Nobody gets to do the extra step, but they get a lot of energy for the step they are doing. So that's kind of an interesting dynamic there. And if we look down here, actually, if you can line this up somehow by trying to predict what other people are doing, what this does is this gives you 2 extra energy for each energy cube on the associated step. So, for example, if I played this down here, I'm having a 2 energy design step. But let's say Heggers played design into this card, or a card like this, that popped 2 of these out. Now this has made those worth 2 extra. They're already worth 1, so now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a big design step. So that would be good. It might be 2 instead of 1. It might just be 6. I'll have to double check that. But that is the 2 different kinds of bonus things you're going to see on the top of the cards there that sort of change this round-to-round section. So what you're doing, let's just have a quick look here. Total energy example. Instead. It's instead. So that would get me 6 energy in the design step instead of the 2 on the card if I had a couple of these guys sitting there. So that would be great. So that's the first phase of the game. And then the second phase of the game, you're actually going to go through all 5 steps. So you've got your little inventor here. And unlike that first phase, this phase is simultaneous. So every player does this at their own speed, in their own time, just adminning their own player board, basically. So every player can do well, not every player. Anyone who's got the upgrade card down here, or if there's energy on the communal board up here, you can do an upgrade step. If you can't do it, you just skip it, move straight on to the next step. And these go around in order. So you can see there's little arrows that move you around this track. So you go upgrade, up to assemble, across to design, down to fabricate, and down to recycle. And when you go through these, you've got a sort of an energy menu in each area that you're going to get to trigger with the energy you've got for each step, which we calculated earlier. So you'll go through all 5 of those steps, and then I'll go into detail on those in a minute. But then when you're done, you come over here, and then we'll go to round end, and there's a little bit of admin. We'll get ready for the next round, and just repeat for 8 times, and then the game is over. So what we're trying to do here is earn points, and we're going to get points from many different areas. This is my score sheet from the one solo game I played already. I got 84 points, which is amateur, but also not the worst. I think the worst was like try to get better, and then there was another level below. So I'm level 3 of I think about 6, but I just scraped in there. I think 80 to 90 was amateur. So you can see here are the 4 areas where we're getting points, and the sum at the bottom. So you get points for playing robots. So every robot card you use is going to get you points. And so these are the core cards, right? The idea is we're going to get these cards, and then we're going to play them into our tableau. So here's an example of a green card. Perfect. Let's have a look and see if we can see it over here. So this is a little robot called Tangent. And Tangent, if you play him into your tableau, is going to be worth 6 points at the end of the game, which is shown up here. So there we go. And we'll conceal Tangent back in there. So that's your total for just having played the robots out. And then under that, you've got class cards. So class cards are like objectives. So we're going to get some of these, and we're going to be able to put them out here, and they're going to tell us what we're going to get points for. It will be things like play lots of robots, have resources left over at the end of the game, unlock up specific upgrades, and things like that. Michael, I really like the upgrade in this. It's really cute. And welcome to the stream, Brian. Happy 2024. We're playing a game from 2023, which is fair enough because it's only 11 days into 2024. So there's the class cards there. You can get up to 3 of them, so you can get those different objectives and try to do those if you want. The next rung down, which is the star on the black background, that's just points accrued during the game. So you'll find there's ways to produce points on your player board, and you can try to produce as many of those as you possibly can if you want. I only managed to produce 14. And then finally, you will count up all your resources and leftover bits, divide by 3, and then you get these points here. So that is where we're getting our points from. So we understand that there is the first phase where we're picking the steps we're going to do based on the energy cards we have. The energy deck will cycle. It resets here in between rounds 4 and 5. So this is when you get to reshuffle your energy deck, and you don't know what will be coming up after that. These cards come back to your hand every time. So in the round end phase, the admin phase, you pick up all of these. So you've always got all 5 steps to choose from if you want to. So let's take a look at the player board in a little bit more detail over here. So the middle step, the round phases that every player can do simultaneously, that is the core bulk of the game here. I'm not saying it's the most important part, but it is. But, that first part where you're picking cards, that's also important too. It's probably important to have a strategy about which steps you want to repeat and run and sort of build your engine in. As you can see here, we've got upgrade and assemble, which are kind of unique steps. Upgrade lets us upgrade the player board. And what you can see here are these upgrade tokens. I'll talk about that in a minute. But everyone will have the exact same setup. So this player board is the same for everyone. But we do have a spot for an inventor down here, which will be asymmetrical. So that's going to give us our asymmetrical player powers down there that we can have. So let's talk about upgrade first. But upgrade is where we're going to upgrade these tokens on the player board. Then assemble is where we're going to play robots into these 3 rows. In design, what we're primarily doing is getting more robot cards. So the robot cards are called blueprints until they're assembled. So they go into your hand, they're called blueprints, and then you go to the assembly action to build them into the rows down here. And they have to go into the matching color. So there we go. Now we've got Java, the coffee. This is my spirit robot. Anyway, so in the design row typically gets you more cards, but you'll find they do all kinds of different things. The fabricate row typically produces resources, and the recycle row produces energy. But those are broad brush strokes. Every row can do everything, and you'll find they all sort of combo in different ways as you get more cards and play them out. So there's opportunity to build different things there. I think I should start with Java in my hand. I'm gonna get a bunch of cards to pick, so I'm gonna pretend that's the first one I drew. I don't even know what he does. He's just my spirit robot. So anyway, in upgrade, so upgrade and assemble work a little bit differently to design, fabricate, and recycle. So we'll look at upgrade first, and in upgrade, what you've got here is a symbol up here that's telling you you can buy as many different rows here that you want to buy by paying the energy cost. So if you had 3 energy for upgrade, you could either do this row once or this row 3 times. And you spend the energy shown here. So we've also got this tiny little mark here, which I'll show you with the close-up camera. We can get closer. Yeah, so we've got a little sort of arrow here, which is actually telling you or this or this. But this mark up here is telling you, but repeat this until you've spent your entire supply of energy. So upgrade allows us to move these markers. There are 3 different kinds of markers. We've got the green ones, the blue ones, the pink ones, and the orange ones. And we start with 16 of them littered across our player board. It's always the same for everybody. And when you do an upgrade, you get to remove the token, and this has 2 effects. It gives you the token to use, which we'll learn about in a minute, and it reveals something on your player board. So for example, in the fabricate row here, it adds an additional energy production to this row. You can also upgrade these different actions here so that whenever you take them, they just have more energy. So this means whenever you take fabricate, you'll add 1 to your total energy for fabricate. And this up here means you'll add 2 energy to your total energy for assemble, for example. There's also, in the upgrade section itself, 3 different upgrades, which are actually ingenious icons. So these are little light bulbs. And when you get the light bulb, you just get to pick a reward from this menu here right away. So this first reward is another class card. So you draw 3, choose 1 to keep, and put into play. This over here is 2 resources of any kind. Now it's worth noting with these resources here, and it's the same icon that you see here, this is the 4 resources we looked at earlier, which is the circuits and programming and gears and signals. So you could have any of those as your 1, and the blue wedge there, that's a card. So you could also draw a card. This also means if you ever have to pay resources, then you can pay any of those for, or discard cards from your hand to pay those resources. So here you can see what we're doing is we're basically buying these upgrade tokens. Oh, sorry, to finish this off, you can have 2 resources of any kind, don't have to be the same thing, or 4 energy. So that's the battery resource on the top of our player board here. So we can just grab this guy, and if we have 0, it's not on the board, so if we were to gain 4, we'd put it down here like this to show we've now got 4 energy. Energy must be determined at the beginning of the round. So let's say, for example, we had 1 energy to pay for an upgrade. So we decide we're going to trigger this top row. Now, what you can see here, the difference in the rows is simply the amount of resources you have to pay for the upgrade. So I'm going to have to pay 4 resources here to trigger, if I trigger this top row, to do this symbol here, which is upgrade a thing. So I'm going to pay 4 resources. I've got 3 signals here that I can pay. I need 1 more, so I'm going to have to discard Java from my hand to make up the 4th resource. So I pay the 4 resources, and then I can pick one of these upgrades to do. I can pick one anywhere on the board. Let's pretend I decide to do this. I'll put it off to one side, and then I take 4 energy here. What I can't then do is add more energy to the upgrade action. So I had 1 energy, I've just spent it, my upgrade is done. I can't then decide to spend, 7 here to go and do this bottom rung as well. But as you noticed, before I took the upgrade, I had 4. So I could decide to spend these 4 to go up to 5. But I must do it before triggering any of the action. So now I've spent that 4 energy to add to my total. I've got 5. I can trigger this row, or this row, and this row twice. So that's, or this row 5 times, but I don't have the resources. So that would be a bit wasteful. So that's how these upgrades work. You'll find they just give you various different sort of benefits as you remove the tokens. But the main additional thing to note about the upgrades is that when you remove it from the board, you then get to add it to something. So, and you can hold on to it in your player area for as long as you like. And then you can add it later on to something like, for example, Java here. You can see here Java has 2 rows on the bottom, and there's those little arrows again indicating ore. So we can see the 2 rows are the same product, 2 energy, because he's a coffee robot, he's making energy for you, makes sense. But the top row costs 5 energy to trigger, the bottom one costs 1 to trigger. Now, if I want to use the bottom row, because it's ore, I choose 1 to trigger, but I can't use the bottom row until I unlock it by spending one of my upgrade tokens on it. So I add the upgrade token that I've previously gained from my player board onto the card, which allows me to use the better row instead of the top row if I want. So there's upgrade spots on the robot cards. There's also upgrade spots on the class cards. So here, for example, we see a objective. This wants you to have leftover programming resource at the end of the game. So you can see there's 3 tiers. If we have 6 resource left over, we're going to get 2 points. We're going to get an A. If we have 13 left over, we're going to get 13 points. If we upgrade it with the token, then we get what's called extra credit, and we just count as having a rung higher. So if we only had 11 left at the end of the game, we could still have the points from the A row. It's worth noting, though, that if I qualified for A, then the extra credit's not doing anything for me. There's only so swotty that you can be. So that's upgrades. Upgrades are going to let us upgrade our player board and also gain upgrade tokens to spend on robot cards and class cards. Now, the final thing that's worth noting about the upgrades is that there are 16 tokens and they are component limited, so you've got a maximum of 4 blue upgrades, 4 orange upgrades, and once you run out of tokens, you can't do those upgrade types anymore. Sad. So the next thing here is assemble. This is super simple. We're just going to build the robots. Each robot has 2 costs at the top here. So you can see Java costs 3 energy or 7 energy, and just based on whichever the amount of energy I have to spend, I can potentially pay less resources. So it either costs 2 circuits and 2 programming, or just 2 circuits. This up here is reminding you that you spend your energy to trigger these brackets. So for example, if I had a total of 7 energy, I could either build Java for 7, and then that would be all I could do, or I could build Java for 3 if I was willing to pay the extra resource, and then I'd have 4 energy left over to perhaps build another robot card from my hand. And before building any robots, again, I can choose to spend batteries to add energy to my total, but I must do it before building any robots. The last thing to note here is that all of the columns, as they move towards the right, have increasing cost on the spaces. So just like Wingspan, the first robot you add is free, and then the next one is its cost plus 1 resource of any type, 2 of any type, and so on, moving increasingly upwards to the right. So those are the first 2 big actions: assemble and upgrade. And then we've got these 3 areas here, and these all function the same way. So unlike these 2 areas where you've got a total energy that you're going to spend to trigger any number of sort of energy areas, what you can see here is that instead of the little arrows, what we've got are the pluses. So that means you get to do everything. So here energy is unlocking rows for you. So we don't need to look at all of these because they all function the exact same way. They just give you slightly different things. But if we take a look here at the fabricate row as our example, we're going to total the amount of energy we get. So let's say, for example, over here, we've got fabricate down here under the 4. We've got one of these yellow cubes that someone's put here as well. Actually, there'd be 2 yellow cubes just from us from this card. So let's say someone else threw another one in as well. So that's going to be a total of 4 and 3 for 7. So what that does is it unlocks all of the energy brackets for 7. That's what the plus is telling you. So we're going to get this, we're going to get this, we're going to get to do this. And you always go top to bottom, left to right for these zones. So then we get to move on to Java. So we do the core here first, and then we activate each robot left to right along the row. So we've only got one robot, it's Java. Now we haven't got the bottom space unlocked, so we can't choose to do this, but that's fine because unlike these areas here with the plus, Java's got an OR symbol here, which means we're picking either the top row or the bottom row, but at the moment we're not even able to pick the bottom row. In this case, it doesn't matter. Even if we had unlocked the bottom row, because we have 7 energy, we can use either row and they do the same thing. So the only real advantage to unlocking this bottom row is if we think we're going to have less than 5 energy for this action frequently. So there we go. We get 2 batteries as well. So we just take our little token here and pop it out in 2, or if we already had some, increase it accordingly. So that's pretty much how all of these actions work. A few things to note, I guess, that's important is the resources mainly come from here, so you can see the first 2 rows are pick one or the other to have, but if you want the programming, you have to go to design. The other thing is that you have to get robot cards in your hand. It is a tableau builder. Getting the cards is actually quite difficult, so they're quite valuable. At least that's what I found from my one game of it so far. But you can see here that if you upgrade the pink spot here, you get to draw a card and you get a battery as well. But you also get this action here, which is discard X cards, robot cards, to draw X plus 1. And what's worth noting about this is you can discard 0 to draw 1 card. So if you unlock the pink part here, this 4 energy and design always lets you draw 2 cards, at least. But you've also got down here a wild resource, so you could unlock this, and then whenever you do energy for recycle, you can use that wild to draw a card, which is quite good. And I think there was another way to draw cards as well, but I've forgotten. Maybe it's just these 2 here, so if you get the ingenious moment, you can draw 2 cards here as well if you want. That might be it. Then you'll find robots that will let you draw cards as well, which is probably quite important because drawing cards is important. So that's basically the actions. That's the board. So you'll just go through, trigger these all in order, trigger these left to right. So sort of the positioning of the things on your board and where they go, that's important. And what you really want to do is build up an engine to earn a bunch of points. So what we can do now is we can go and... Now there's a bunch more iconography that we didn't see because it's from the Pets expansion, so I'll learn that as we go because I haven't seen those cards yet either myself. But at the top of the game, the first thing that happens is everyone gets their starting resources, which are shown down here, which I haven't done yet, so we're going to do that together now. But everybody's going to get to draw 8 robot cards and keep 5. Oh, it sure would be great if you could focus. I need to build a little camera robot. God, that'd be cool, wouldn't it, to have like a tiny little cameraman robot? So everyone gets to draw 8 cards and keep 5. They get to draw 2 class cards and keep 1, 2 inventor cards and keep 1. This is the only inventor you'll get. You pick your inventor at the start and then it's locked in, but you can get more class cards. You can hold up to 3, and if you would get a 4th, you have to discard one you've already got, or don't take it. And then you also get to start with 2 built robots. So you're going to pick from the 5 here and build 2 of them, I think. I'll double check that. But I think, yeah, you pick from the 5 and build 2 of them. You get to start with 1 area of your board unlocked. So 1 upgrade you can do for free at the start. You get 3 energy and 3 batteries as well. So that's the very first thing we have to do is decide on which inventor we want to start with, I guess. Well, we can deal out all the cards and then make an educated choice, but you know, my obviously the inventor is the most important thing because that's us. That's who we are. So it is energy cards, draw 8 robot cards. And then assemble 2 robots. At no cost, from your hand, placing them in your play area. It is worth noting, for this initial setup, you can build the robots at no cost, but if you do want to put 2 in the same row, then you do have to pay this cost, which you would have to pay using either a robot card from your hand, or one of the 3 duct tapes that you start with. So, with that in mind, let's deal out some cards. Where's Java? What did I do with Java? Did I get rid of Java? No! I must have discarded Java thoughtlessly. God, I'm a terrible, awful person. How could I have done this? My spirit robot. So here's a couple of inventors for us to start with. Now, what I haven't also done here is teach you any of the solo rules, but they're so simple. So you'll learn all about those in just a minute. So here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is Java here? No, we've got George, the little robot monkey. And what I like about the art in this game is all the robots are made from... Oh, this is one of the pets! Oh, I don't know how he works. We'll have to figure that out in a minute. But all the art in this game is like, you know, robots made of like stuff that you would find. So, you know, you can see his eyes are one of those old toys from the 80s where you look at the pictures that go around, and his tail is a cable, an electrical cable. He's very curious, hackers. This is Miyagi. It's some kind of kung fu robot. And that gets his cards, so strong contender to hang on to. You like robot cards. Monkeybot is your spirit animal, Brian, is it? We've got another pet here, Horton. Horton, the elephant made from what looked to be microphones and a Hoover. And a cheese grater? And spatulas? And a radiator. Here's Jar Jar, everyone's least favorite robot. Screensaver. It's got one of those little projectors to help you sleep. Its head's made out of it. Oh. Oh, Blush. She's made of a makeup set. I mean, I don't know why I gendered the robot. They're made of a makeup set, and they're gonna help you do your makeup. I've got a lot of purple and oranges. I actually got 0 recycle robots. Another pet. Waddles, the penguin. I love him. Made out of a kettle and a screwdriver. I love him. And finally Ken, who looks like he's playing with himself. Because he's a doll's house. Ah! I dropped the cards. Right. Alright, let's find out what these animals do, because I actually don't really know. So we've got Waddles, Horton, and George. So, looks like Waddles and George kind of do the same thing, just a slightly different cost. So I presume this is pay a card to do a thing, and Waddles is pay a signal to do a thing. Horton, on the other hand, is slightly different. So, let's get the decoder. The decoder says, activate any robot card of your choice that is in the same column. So these little arrows here mean column. There's also one for rows. There's also a different symbol that would say any card directly adjacent, orthogonally adjacent to this card, but we don't have one of those. So this is activate any robot card in the same column as this one. You may use the upgraded robot action only if it has an upgraded token. So you pay a card to trigger another robot. So I guess that's good if you have a very powerful robot that you want to use. It might be a bit beyond my skill to figure out how to use well, though. I've only played this once. I've only played it once, and I was amateur. So here's Horton. Horton says, for each robot card in your play area that is orthogonally adjacent to Horton and has signal in the cost, so that's what that little icon there is telling us, a robot, and those 4 blue lines are saying orthogonally adjacent to Horton, a robot with signal in the cost, so that would be up here like Horton has signal in the cost. You gain the matching resources shown. So if there's 1, we get 1. If there's 2, we get 2, and if there's 3, we get 3. I'm going to assume that that doesn't include Horton. Yeah, doesn't count Horton. Sad. Okie dokie. So, what we probably want to do here is consider our opening set. Things that get us resources are nice. Things that get us cards are nice. So, Blush gets us a card and 2 energy. That's always good. Screensaver lets you spend a card for 2 chips. I don't really care too much about that because I have to spend cards. That's just... Jar Jar just makes more microchips. And Miyagi gives us... Well, we have to spend a chip to gain a bunch of resources. So, it's a shame that design happens before fabricate because... But what we could do, check this out, is if we built... if we put Jar Jar down here, and then we put George or Waddles... Oh no, Waddles isn't actually purple. Waddles is a fabricate robot. I didn't realize he's orange. It's just the art is purple. But he's an orange card. You can tell because the symbol's literally here. And also this is orange down here. I love him. But George, if we put George down here, then we can spend a card to trigger Jar Jar. And then we can put Miyagi down here. And then we'd have always make sure we had access to the chip we need to trigger Miyagi. That feels like a really roundabout way, though. Like a really convoluted way to just get a purple resource, the programming resource, and a battery, because effectively I'm spending a card and a chip to just... Yeah, that's not really productive. It's a nice system, but I don't think it's a good one. So I think we can find other ways to get those resources. So I like Miyagi, but he does have a cost. I like Blush because she doesn't have a cost, but she is very expensive to trigger. She costs 7. Which is probably why she lets you draw a card. Ken also costs a card, but he gets us. Ken gets us duct tape, which would be another way to make sure we can trigger Miyagi. I don't like all these robots spending cards. I'm trying to get cards. But this isn't too bad. Because we can spend the card here to get the duct tape. And then we can spend the duct tape here to get cards, and then we get more cards as well. We'll definitely need to take the upgrade token off here, though, if we're going to try to trigger Blush frequently. Right, well, while we consider these different mechanical options here, let's look at our two inventors as well. So we've got Sion Diok. So she gets to start with an extra robot. That's on the board. So she starts with an extra robot built on the board. And then there's every inventor has a second tier that needs to be unlocked. So the top part with the red padlock, that's the requirement. So to unlock Sion Diok's second ability, we would have to have done 3 upgrades. And then what we can do is we can take a orange upgrade token that we haven't spent and put it down here to get the bottom part, which is play another robot. So she gets basically just lots more robots. That's okay. And then we've got John. So John's come from the pets upgrade. He's got a bear and a paw. And good God, what is that? So he starts with 2 extra energy. He starts with a 1 thing. What is that? All right, bear with me here. Explain John. Complexity hard. Oh. After drawing your 2 energy cards each round, cover the energy. Okay. Immediate. Begin the game with 2 additional batteries. Also take John's 3 tokens from the game box and place them beside your player board with the 1 energy side face up. Ongoing. Each round you perform every phase with an energy value of 1 instead of the energy value on your energy cards. After drawing your 2 energy cards each round, cover their energy values with 2 of your tokens. Assign 2 phase down phase cards as normal, and then place your remaining 3 phase cards face down next to your last token. Those 3 phase cards will use its energy value. What? So it's like, where's his tokens actually? So you've got these John tokens here. And then basically what happens is you have to put them out like this so they cover up the energy value of the card. So it's bad. So why on earth would we want this? We start with 2 extra batteries. What's the advantage of this? Each round you perform every energy. Every step with an energy value of 1 instead of the energy value found on your energy cards. So, wow, that's really interesting. And then when upgraded, you get to have 2 energy each round. Well, I think this is really interesting, and I'm quite keen to try John. But Haggers is like, I vote for John. I was going to say, we can do John, but it won't be a very good indicator of how the game actually functions, right? Because we'll be doing every step of every round, so that's very unusual to do all 5 steps. Obviously, normally you have to pick. two that you want to do, and you're sort of building an energy that maybe focuses on one row to trigger a lot. Whereas if we're doing John, we're not going to care about that at all. But I'm happy to do John. I think he's interesting. You know, and our first date went really well, so... Oh, we could do a poll, couldn't we? Or just vote in chat and let me know what you think. In the meantime, here's a couple of class cards that we have to pick from as well. Okay, so we've got Artificial Intelligence. This just wants us to do upgrades. Great. That's good because upgrades are good to do. And then we've got Physics, which wants us to have leftover hogs at the end. I like Artificial Intelligence, so let's take that one. So we'll take that class. And those go over here. So there's spots for 3 of them down the side of your board here, and then you're out of space. And they're public information, so everyone gets to know what those are. Okay, well, with no strong feelings one way or the other, it looks like we are going to be doing John. So, I apologize for playing the hard expansion character instead of the nice and simple core game character. But sometimes that's just how it is. So, we take John, and John goes down here. And we can have 2 extra batteries. Start. Okay, so we get to do every step of the round, but we're gonna have low energy. So, now we've got this objective up here to do upgrades. We like upgrades, and we've got all of our robots over here. So, I think Blush becomes a must-have because she gets us energy and a card, but she's 7 and we're going to really struggle to get that high up. I really like the idea of starting with Miyagi actually, because he just gets us 3 things that, and 2 of them, one's a card, one's energy. We want both of those, and we get to start with an upgrade as well, so we could do a pink upgrade actually. What we could do is just take this pink upgrade and move it down here. So then we've got an extra card and an extra energy. We're going to get to trigger this for 1 energy every round, which is another card and another energy. So that just seems really strong to me. And then we can build 1 more starting robot. I have no strong feelings about the rest of these, really. I do seem to have an orange Jar Jar who has a signal in the cost, and then I've also got Horton who likes signals in the cost, and it occurs to me that Miyagi also has a signal in the cost, so it might be quite good to actually just start with Horton. Or maybe we can play Horton... No, because then he's not adjacent to Miyagi. If we put Horton down here, then we can put Java down here, and then we're 2 robots away from triggering Horton's best life. And if we can get 1 more Recycle robot, which we haven't got, we could do that. So we could finish that off. So then we just need to get rid of 3 of these guys, really, down here. I like Waddles. I'm not really sure if Waddles is useful for us this time. So we said let's keep Jar Jar, so that's 3. So we actually only get to pick 2 more of these, which is wild. I like Blush, although getting to 7 energy as John seems really difficult. We also want some cheap robot, because to unlock his next ability, we need, or his bottom ability, which will be enormously helpful, we need 4 robots on our player board. So obviously we get to start halfway there, which is great. No, do you know what? Let's take Waddles. I just like him. I just want Waddles. I can't help it. I'm sorry. He's too cute. So, that is the setup for the game complete. Now we can proceed to the game proper, and the first round of the game is going to be round preparation. So normally what we'd do is we'd give this deck a shuffle and deal 2 cards out, but because we're John, we're a bit special. And the other thing we're going to do is we're going to take this deck of cards here, which is actually a hand just like this from one of the unused player sets, and this is the solo mode. So all we do is we take the 5 cards here, we shuffle them, if the bot on the John card was a pinball instead of an arcade game, I'd be 100% in. As it is, yeah. Oh yeah, the bear is made out of an old arcade machine. He's got a little tin can. Oh. Well, John does seem to enjoy the outdoors, as do I, so I can get behind this. And it also seems like, you know, we survived climate breakdown, so that's good. I like this vision of the future. It's positive. And Michael says, that description of John tells me nothing, honestly. I'm looking at the BGG forums. Yeah, he's a bit convoluted, but don't worry, we've figured him out. So that's good. Anyway, here's so what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna deal out 5 of these. Like this. So we know these are the 5 steps that you would normally find. And then we assign 1, 2, 1, 2. Or it could be the other way around, 2, 1. It actually makes no odds at all. What's important is that you've assigned sets of 2. No, I've done it correctly. Cool. But that's it. So, I'll show you how this functions in just a minute. These are not supposed to be here. On round 1, we're all set, ready to go. So, normally what you'd do is you'd flip over 2, and there's that 4 card again that we already saw. And we've got a 3 here as well. But because we're John, we're going to put these out like this. So, then every player would get the cubes that they need for their bonus cubes here and put them out as well. So we've got this situation going on here, and now we're going to get to do all 5 of these. So unlike normal where you just pick 2 and slot them down here, we're going to do all 5, but what we need to do is decide what we want to do best. I really like upgrades. I think doing upgrades early is good, so I'm quite tempted to put upgrade down here. Now, normally this would be played face down like this, and every player would reveal simultaneously once they picked, but because we're playing solo, it doesn't matter at all, so we can play them face up. That's fine. And then the others, this, because it doesn't have any bonus at the top, is functionally the same as this, so it really doesn't matter at all, so we can just put these down over here. And ideally in the correct order, so that I remember. This kind of feels like a different game now. Okay, so now what we get to do is to simulate other players at the table. So what we'll do is we'll take this, we'll pop them in there, and to simulate other players being at the table in the solo mode, we'll flip over the top 2 cards here. So the other player has decided to do recycle and adds 1 in there, and also assemble and adds 2 in there. So these are just the way that we simulate other people being here, adding to the communal board. So we're going to get to do an upgrade action at energy level 3, an assemble action at energy level 3, design and fabricate at 1 each, and then we'll get to do recycle at energy level 2. So Now we just come over here and we chart it with our little John here. He's going up here. And so we're on 3 for upgrade, which means we can do 1 upgrade for the cost of 3 resources. Or we can do... gosh, I didn't think at all about how I was going to pay for this. Or we can do this 3 times, which we're not going to pick. We'll take the discount. Do I just blow all of my duct tape this early? Seems foolish. Seems like a bad idea. I'll tell you what I can do. We've got 4, right? Why don't we spend a couple of batteries, and then we only need to spend... Or we can spend 2 more batteries. No, fool. I should probably plan out my whole turn, but I don't want to. So, here's 2 duct tape, and we can do an upgrade. So we triggered this column here for 5, and now we get to do 1 upgrade somewhere. And for some reason in my mind, I was thinking I should have upgraded one of these somewhere. I think almost like, because we get to do recycle every round at 1 energy, I almost feel like that's the one to do. You know? But maybe getting cheaper robots is better? I mean, this is also... I mean, this and that's functionally the same, so the question is, do we want the blue one? Do I need a blue one for something? I do need a blue one for this, but I'm not close to that yet. Oh, there was something in my mind just now that I was like, oh, I should definitely do that. But I've forgotten what it was, so I guess because I've forgotten, we'll just take this one off. And we don't have to assign this to anything yet, so we can hang on to that for the time being, which is nice. Okay, good. So that's our upgrade step. Then we move on to assembly. We definitely can't afford any of these robots. We could have, if I hadn't spent all of our duct tape on an upgrade. We do have 3 energy. No, so the cheapest one we can build is Waddles. And I don't think we need Waddles right now. It's just a pity that Assembly came out with 2 communal energy on it, because I don't think I can use it. That's fine. We'll just move straight on to design then. So we've got just a tier 1 design. So we remember how design works. We get to trigger all of these that are applicable. So we get to do this row first, which gets us 1 programming and also 1 energy. We don't get these 2, so then we move along the row and we get to do my Aggiebot. And we remember that because we've unlocked the bottom cheaper part of him, we can do either of these, but we will do the bottom one because it's the only one we can. Oh, sugar, I forgot he needs a thingy. The cog. So I spend my last remaining duct tape. We get one of these, we get one of these, and we get to draw a card. Alright, please be a good robot. Oh, it's another pet. It's Toot! Toot the Rhino. He's made out of a filing cabinet. I love him. Okay, so he'll activate any robot orthogonally adjacent to him. I'm probably not going to get to make any of these pets. Well, actually, that's not true. We already made the elephant. We didn't get this, though. That's a pain. We couldn't afford it, could we? How much battery did we have? That doesn't matter now. I've gone over it. Damn it. I should have spent 3 energy. But it's okay. So then we're in Fabricate, which is another 1. So we're just going to get to pick one of these. So we'll definitely take the cog, so that we can use that to trigger my Aggie next time. And then we can't trigger anything else here. We drop down here. Again, we can only trigger Oh, we've got 3 actually in here. So we could get a duct tape. Yeah, and what we can do actually is we can get these 2 batteries, and then we can spend 1 battery for a duct tape. So that works out. Oh yeah, sorry, we'd have to spend another battery to access level 4, because we only have 3 energy total. We've got 1. Oh no, we've only got 2 actually, so we'd have to spend 3, effectively 3 energy for a battery. No, it's not worth it. I changed my mind. It's down 7. And we won't have the duct tape. And that's it. So that's the end of round 1. It didn't go very well, if I'm honest. I think John might be too complex for me. I should have told him. I knew he was too complex, even on the first date. But there we go. Sometimes, you know, sometimes we listen to our hearts and not our brains. Right. So, cleanup phase. These go back to your hand, except we don't really need to do that. These energy cards are discarded. If there were any end of round abilities, they would trigger, but we haven't seen any of those. All of these go back into the bowl. And this guy moves on. And then if it was the end of round 4, some stuff would happen here. And at the end of round 8, this final score. That's it. We get to see... We're back to the top of... Now it's the top of round 2. We're going to draw 2 energy cards. Cover these up. Get 2 of these guys out here. And then decide... So, one of the nice things about the solo mode, which doesn't happen in the real game... with the real game. The game with real people. Is that we can see actually that the AIs used recycle and assemble. So we know that it's probably going to play... Well, it's definitely going to play design, fabricate, or upgrade. The question is which of the 2 does it play, because it only flips 2 cards. So... I don't have a lot of resources, actually. What I've got is quite a lot of energy. It would be nice to play another robot. I don't even have any signals, though. I do have quite a lot of programming. If we can get 5 on upgrade, then we can spend the 2 programming to get an ingenious moment, to get 2 signals, which would then help us to build Jar Jar. We'd need 7 though in the assemble area, which is not going to come up. We're going to have like... Because we've got our bonus here, but we're not going to be able to benefit from this bonus unless it's in fabricate, recycle, or upgrade, design, or fabricate, because we have to put a card down here that matches one the AI is going to flip to benefit from this bonus. Which is just the game mechanisms, right? Because these are going to go to the matching card here. So to get this bonus, we need to go where these are going. So, I want high fabricate because I need resources. So let's put fabricate down here, and then hope that one of these 2 is fabricate. I would like high design as well. I think I just need more cards. I'm not feeling particularly confident about my life. So let's put those out there. And then these 3 are just our remaining actions at energy level 1. So we can pop these 2 into design. And now we can... Dun dun dun! Find out what the AI is doing. Come on, play where I want. Oh, 1 more in design. That's nice. Fabricate, fabricate, fabricate. Fabricate! Yes! Perfect. That's great. That worked out really nicely. I'm super pleased. So, yep, back to the player board. John's going on his walk again. I talked about doing an upgrade. I've only got upgrade level 1, though. And I don't have a lot of resources, so I might skip it. We could spend some energy. Batteries. I'm not building a robot again, so... Sure, why not? Why not spend some batteries and... 4 batteries, though? 4 batteries and 2 programming, and then what are we actually... upgrading. Design is currently on 4. There's not much point in going higher. Fabricate, we've got Fabricate on 5. Which we don't really need to improve either. It'd be nice to improve Recycle. But I think, I don't know. I'm stumped. Let's improve design. I don't know why. It's instinct. It's good to play by instinct, right? In these kinds of games. Isn't it? So, that cost us 4 batteries to go up to 5 here. And then it cost us 2 resources, which were the 2 purple ones. Yikes. Expensive. Alright, we're going up to assemble. We're not doing any assembly, so we're over here on design, where we've now got 3, 4, 5 energy to spend here. We could go higher, but there's no need. We'd wind up spending 2 just to get a point, which I'm happy to not have right now. So, we're going to get 1 purple guy, 1 battery, and then we're going to get to discard cards. I think we should discard some cards, because I think I've got cards here that I'm just not going to get the most mileage out of. I think it's got to be Waddles. I literally kept him because I was like, I love him, and I want him, and now I'm thinking like, yeah, but I actually need stuff to make things happen. Sorry, Waddles. Sad. So we'll discard Waddles. We might discard Toot as well. I like Toot. But we need to find those green signal cards. So let's ditch 2. So that's 2. So we get to draw 3 cards here. And also a 4th one because of the unlock. And then also we get a battery. So let's see what we've got. Oh, Grams. Grams is a little koala guy. And he turns on robots next to him. Also his face is a scale. We've got Pong. Okay, me and Pong could be friends. I like games. Pong's got games. Is that pinball down the bottom? I can't tell. It is. There's literally a pinball machine at the bottom, Brian. So we can spend an energy to get a card and points. Or a battery and 2 points. I quite like that. I like it because it's cheap to turn on. We've got Millimeter. Still no recycle cards. We've got Millimeter here. He gets a signal. We like signal. And then we've got Beaker, who is made out of I actually can't tell what that is. A light bulb and wires and beakers, but I don't know what his body's made of. This is a parking meter, an old-fashioned parking meter. Millimeter, I get it. Well, we get to keep all of these, so maybe we'll build Pong. If I hadn't already taken Coffee as my spirit robot, then it'd be Pong. That sounds good, Brian. I'm not good at pinball, but I'm happy to play. Great. So that was a row here. Now we move on to Miyagi, who's going to give us a purple back and also another card and a battery. Come on, give me a recycle card. Nope. It's Donatello, the clean... No, he's a Play-Doh robot. He likes to make Play-Doh. And he gets his cards and also batteries. We like those things. There's a hand size. I can't remember... No, there's no maximum hand size. No, I don't think there's a maximum hand size, actually. Okay, so that's the end of that. Purple area. Now we're into Fabricate. We've got 5 for Fabricate. which is more than enough. So we get to have the top one, which I guess... Oh, I forgot to spend one of these for Miyagi, but now we get to have it back. And then down here we'll grab a signal, I think. And then we get to trigger Horton at 4, who gets us one more signal from Miyagi. So we've got a little bit of resources coming in. And then finally we're on to recycle, which is just level 1, so it's just 2 more batteries, which is fine. We'll stick with that, I think. So we've got lots of batteries saved up, but that's about it. So that's the end of that. If you're playing this by yourself and not narrating it and showing all the cards live on stream, it's super fast. I played the solo mode of this in like less than an hour. It is really quick. So now it's just clean up. We're going to get rid of these cards here. Back to our hand. These two go into the discard. And what we do now is, because we've gone 2 rounds, we reset the Robo deck here as well. So all of these are shuffled in with the upgrade that we never flipped. And then we just set this back up again. And we do this 4 times over the course. These are also done. And that's the solo mode. It's very, very simple. Alright, there we go. Cards, cards, cards. All set. Good. That's it. Round 3. And draw 2 of these. Oh, I hate it when this comes out during when I've just reset the AI cards, because I like to be able to see what they've already done, so that I can kind of try to maximize my profit here. But without knowing, it's just a complete crapshoot. We need to build more robots so we can improve John's power here. We've got the token. We just need to improve the power. So what I've not really been doing is thinking about the cost of the robots. Oh, the koala's a recycle robot. And he's got signals on him. That's great. If only his power was good. Like, I've totally failed to realize that we got a recycle robot and he's got signals in the cost. But his power is... I'm sure these powers are good. I'm just not with it enough to use it. Or to think how to use it well. Oh, I'm not going to beat my previous score, and that's going to be sad. Okay, so let's have a think here. Can we build any of these robots, actually? The problem is I haven't got any duct tape, and I should really have tried to acquire some. If we do an upgrade, if we discard some cards, we can... Oh yeah, I guess it's worth noting, and you can see this up here as well. It reminds you that this symbol here includes all of the resources plus cards, and duct tape counts as any resource, but obviously not a card, because... how could it? Oh, I'm disappointed that my, the robots over here in my hand, I don't seem to have any of the right resources to make any of them. I don't know why I'm shuffling these. Oh, that's... Oh, if we get higher energy, though, we could potentially make something. I forgot we could get discount. I mean, if we can make Jar Jar if we can get 7 energy on Assemble. I mean, we've got 8, actually, in our inventory, so we will be able to get to 7 energy. It's just... I don't want to know if I want to spend it all. But I like the idea of getting Jar Jar out, because it just gets us more resources, and that's kind of what we need. So, with that in mind, Let's go ahead and put assemble down here. And then we at least get one on it. And let's pop upgrade down here just in case that comes up, because I mean that would be great. But I don't know. Because do I want to do an upgrade? Is that what I want to do? Yeah, I don't know. I've picked it now. Oh, fabricate. And upgrade, upgrade, upgrade. Design. Damn. Okay. There we go. So, Little John heads over to the upgrade area. Was I going to do an upgrade? I've got one in everything. Well, now I'm not going to upgrade. It would have been nice. Now I'm going to go up here to assemble instead. I should upgrade assemble. Can I just reiterate again how unusual it is to do every step? You don't normally. It's just sort of a unique element here. I don't think... What do I need? I just need the 2 signals, and I need the chip for Miyagi. So I've got 2 resources, but I need... for assemble, I've got 2, so I need to spend 5. So that gives me 3 energy. So that'd be 3 resources. So if I ditch the 2 programming, do I need to... None of my robots cost... No, Blush costs programming, which is very expensive, though. If I ditch the 2 programming, I'm going to get 2 programming back anyway. And I run this at 3, so I spend 2 of these. Then I can ditch a card, like Millimeter. And then I can have an upgrade, and we can upgrade assemble. So now when we come up to assemble, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 from here. So that gives us 4, which means we only need to spend 3 to produce Jar Jar in here. That costs us 2 signals and 1 of any other kind of resource. So the question is, do we ditch Blush or Donatello? I think because it's getting towards the mid-game already, probably we ditch Donatello. Because Blush has got this better... If she's upgraded, we can get points. We like points. Points are good. Points are how we win. I haven't gotten it yet. But otherwise they do the same thing anyway. She's also worth more points up here. So let's keep Blush. So we'll get rid of Donatello. And that gets us the wild resource we need to pay here to slot Java into here. Jar Jar. And now we're going to get some more resources, and that's always nice. Provided we get up to 4 energy on Fabricate. Hopefully that's going to happen. I didn't do all the mental arithmetic because I didn't want to. Okay, so now we're on to design, where we've got 3 from the board over here, 2, 3, and 1 printed on the board for 4. That's all we need. So we're going to get 1 more purple, 1 more energy from the top row down here. Are we ditching any cards? Let's not. Let's just draw 2 new ones. Because I'm not hunting for anything specific right now. Okay, so we've got Camo, the xylophone lizard. What's his tail? It's some kind of exhaust pipe. Oh, that's cool. For every robot adjacent to him, gain a card. I like that. And then we've got control copy. And he's a copier. I get a bunch of 7s into design and then just run design with a lot of energy. That would be really good. Anyway, there's my 2 cards. I get an energy. Did I take it? No, because I was down to 3 from here. That was 4 or 5. This I don't get to do, so we're over here. So we spend our cog. We got 1 more purple, 1 more energy, and 1 more card. Which is Shredder. He's a shark that's made of a shredder. I love it. And he's looking for robots that have a 1 energy cost value option, and then he gives us duct tape. Well, I like duct tape. I do like duct tape. And he's a recycling robot that has signals in the cost. He wants to be next to 1 cost robots. Anyway, that's the end of design, so we'll move down to fabricate. We're going to get our cog back. Now, for fabricate, we're on 1... actually, I should work this out right. We're on 2 for fabricate. And we need 4 to trigger Horton, so we'll spend 2 to go up to 4, and then we get our cog, and then we go down here, and we'll have another cog, and then we're going to get a 2 signals from Horton, because now he's next to 2 robots with signals in their cost, so that's good. So thank you for that, Horton. And then we're going to get 1 more of these from Jar Jar. So we got some resources now, that's good. Then we head on down to recycle, where we've just got 1, so we're just getting 2 batteries. That's the end. That's all she wrote. So, we'll get these out of here. And we'll move the marker. Get rid of these. Good. Back to the start. So we've got 1 extra... Oh no, that's the bonus value. So that's good, because we've got 2 up here we can try to predict. And we've got a big 4. Oh no, it becomes a 1. Sad. Okay, so it's gonna do... It's not doing fabricate and design, so it's either upgrade, assembly, or recycle. I want to build another robot so we can unlock John's power. 1 more robot gets us the power. What have I got the money for? Sadly, not the neither of the green robots. I did not calculate well. What I should have done was actually spent 4 energy on a duct tape. It would have been 4 because I would have had to boost recycle up to 3. I don't think that's worth it. Oh, do you know what I should do? Is possibly upgrade Jar Jar. I don't know why I need these cogs, but also I feel like I've got these upgrade tokens just sitting there, and I'm not really using them. Before we do that, and you can use the upgrade tokens at any time. Before we do that, let's have a look and see what robot are we going to try and build then. What can we afford? We can afford Blush. She's expensive. But we've got the material. We potentially afford Beaker, and he gets us more signals. Although we've got Horton already getting us signals. Pong. We can't afford Pong. We don't have any microchips. We need microchips, actually. Which means, really, I mean, Shredder would be good. We need microchips, though. Pong. We could upgrade Pong. Yes, actually, upgraded Pong is good. I can't afford them. I don't have microchips. God damn it. I could feasibly do an upgrade and get microchips that way through the ingenious moment. Because that could get me 2 wild resources. So, let's have a think here. Do I have enough to trade 4 and still make Pong? I mean, the answer is yes. I do, so. Great. So let's do high value. Let's do... We'll gamble on a big assemble. That would be really helpful. And then we'll stick an upgrade in here, because that's just helpful too. And then the rest are down here on the 1 tile. Right, let's find out what the AI is doing. It's an upgrade. That's good. Come on, assemble. Assemble, assemble, assemble. Hey, look at that. Lucked out again. Nice. Okay, so John advances up to upgrade, where we're on 2, 3. So that lets us take a 3-1. Am I above spending power here? What am I on for assemble? I'm on 5 for assemble. So for 1 energy, I can get everything I need. So yeah, if we're on 3 for upgrade, I actually think spending a couple of these to go up to 5, so we can have 2 off is actually okay. And then we spend 2 signals, I think. Actually, does it matter? 1 signal and 1 programming? Sure. Why not? It doesn't really matter. So maybe better to keep 1 of each. I don't know. To do an upgrade. And that upgrade is 1 of these 3. I don't have any pinks or oranges at the moment. But I do also need a green to upgrade Pong. We like Shredder. Shredder needs a green. We like Blush. Blush wants an orange. I think her upgrade's a bit late game. We've got lots of blues already. I've lots of the cards in my hand want greens. So let's take the other green, because I'm about to spend 1. And then we get 2 of these, which we'll spend on the microchips. So that goes up to 2. And then we're done there. So we go into assembly, where we've got 2, 3, 4. Sorry, those are worth 2 each. So 2, 4, 6 from the board, 7. Oh yeah, because I forgot about the bonus. So that's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So we can build, now we can build Pong in here. So we have to spend 2 of these guys and 1 of anything else. Might as well be 1 of these. And then we can immediately upgrade Pong, which we want to do. Now we can get some duct tape. Yes! Also, now, and this is in the rule book. I'm just going to double check it, but I'm pretty sure this is because this works the same way as one of the other guys. Yeah. So now what we can do right away, now we've got the 4 robots, is we can come down here and unlock John's improved ability, which immediately flips all of these over to the 2 sides. So now they're all worth 2, and that applies to the further rounds coming up this round. So that's actually really helpful. Good. Now I feel like we're cooking with gas a bit. So that was the end of assembly, so we're over to design. For design, we've got 2, 3. But we'd like to get up to 4. So we spend 1. And we're going to get this guy, and over here we can discard some cards. I'm leaning towards Shredder now. So I think I'll probably discard Grams. Although Grams could just trigger Shredder, and then we could just get loads of duct tape. I've changed my mind. I'm not discarding Grams. I don't want to discard any of them. I love my little robots. I mean, they're just ideas, but soon they'll be real. So instead, we've got a Stare, who's got a I don't know, something in his hat. No. He has a spark plug? And we've got Hollywood. He's a popcorn maker. And a brave knight. And he gets us points. We like points. And we get a battery from here. So, that's the end of this. But we've got another one here, another one here, and another card. And then over here, we're actually just going to spend this for duct tape and 2 points. There we go. So, we just get to draw a card. And it is Sparky. So Sparky is actually wild. He can go into any row. And he wants to be next to robots that cost between 3 and 4 points, and then he gives you points. So that's pretty good, actually. We also have a lot of those robots, so... Good. That's the end of design. Moving on to fabricate, where we've got 2. But we want 4, so we can use Orton. Am I going to upgrade Jar Jar? Once again, I forgot to pay for Miyagi. I keep forgetting to pay for Miyagi. But I've caught myself every time. Are we going to upgrade Jar Jar? Get extra cogly bits. I don't know if I need to build I need to build more robots. I need materials for that. I just feel like I've got this blue upgrade sitting here and I'm triggering this. Then we need 5 though. We're currently on 2. And we're definitely spending 2. Getting a reliably up to 5 on Fabricate is quite an ask, though. So, let's keep our upgrade token for now. Okie dokie, so, we're on 2, so we need to spend 2 energy to get up to 4. And then we spend this here, and we're going to get one of these. No, we're not. We're going to get one more of these. Ugh, it doesn't matter, actually. Do you know what? Let's get one of these, because I don't have any. Right, and now it's down here. We're about to get 2 signals, so we'll take one of these, and then it's over here, and we're going to get 2 signals, and then we're going to get 1 signal. And then it's just down to recycle, where we've only got 1, so we're getting 2 batteries again. Okay. So I feel like we got some good stuff in our inventory. That's nice. We're on to the end of the round. And that means these go. And so the energy deck's going to reset. This is less important for us because we're John. But could be important, or it's quite important for the other characters. I reset these as well, so we didn't see recycle. These go as well. If there were end of round bits that trigger, but we haven't actually seen a single end of round thing. I think they're mostly on the inventors. And so the last thing we're gonna do is advance this little guy. And then we get to draw 3 class cards and pick one. So currently our class card, which I totally forgot about, was just do upgrades. We've currently done 5? Yes, we've currently done 5 upgrades. And if you are struggling to remember whether you've achieved Your upgrades, every player gets 3 little arrows, so you can put this down here. So because we've done 5 upgrades, we currently qualify for 2 points. We're a D in artificial intelligence. So let's have a look and see what we've got here. Natural language processing. So this wants us to have done green upgrades specifically. So you'll note that there's only 4 green upgrades possible. So to get the A, you have to get up to B and then take the extra credit, which will put you in A. So that red arrow means only accessible via the extra credit. We've done 2, so we actually qualify for the basic rung of this. And also what I like about this is it's just do upgrades, which is the same as our other class. This one wants us to have robots that have a 6 and 7 cost energy bracket. So that's the costs shown up here. We've actually got 3 at the moment. So we are qualifying for the bottom rung of this as well. And this one wants us, it's the same deal, but the robots have to have the 1 cost energy bracket. I mean, at least I think that's what this is saying. So we've not got any of... No, actually, we've got one of those. Maggie is one of those. But I think I like do the green upgrades just because it combos with the other class we've got. Natural language processing, great. So we can teach the AI how to sound like a normal person. Those other ones just going to discard, and so we can pop this arrow down here. There we go. To show that we've got 2 points. I could actually trigger both extra credits. I've got the right tokens, but let's save them for now. And with that, we're into round 5. So let's see what we've got going on over here. We've got the bonus energy, which is not ideal because it's the start of the round, the start of the AI set. This one's just nothing. Might as well not even put a card there. And we've also got this. Big mysteries. Okie dokie. So, I want to build another robot, so... I mean, this round, really, there's a strong chance I'm just going to have 2 energy on everything, because I can't... It's hard to predict what's going on up here. Thanks for hanging out, Brian. Catch you soon. And don't worry, we built the pinball machine, so we'll have something to remember you by. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, I don't think this matters too much this round. If we could get some big energy on something, it would be nice to be assemble. So let's put assemble down there, and the rest are just over here because it's really better. And then we reveal assemble. Hey, it worked out. And upgrade. So we come up here, we've got 3 on upgrade, so we can spend 3 resources. We'd like to do a green upgrade, I think. Oh, actually, the recycle level 4 green upgrade is nice, because that's a wild. This is also nice, because it's just 2 more points. Right. So what am I going to spend? We wanted to build... We want to build Shredder. He costs 1 microchip if we can get 6 in assembly. We've already got 6 in assembly, so we can build Shredder for 1 microchip. So don't spend the microchip, basically, is what I'm saying. But we're in 3, so we need to spend 3. It would be good to build Sparky. And upgrade Sparky as well. So I need an orange for that. Damn it. We can't build Sparky this round though, but let's try to build Sparky in the future. I like Sparky. Also, he's a little dog made out of a dustbuster and a radio. So, I mean, Judy, he kind of reminds me of that guy from Star Wars. You know, the guy that's in Mos Eisley, right? You know who I'm talking about. That guy. Anyway. Yeah, so we don't need programming. So we can spend 2 programming and 2 signals. Well, we need signals for the dog, actually. 1 signal and 1 microchip. I don't need programming for anything. No one... Blush is the only one that costs programming. Let's just spend all the programming. There we go. And that lets us do 1 more upgrade, and I guess we'll take... Are we getting... How much recycling? We're still on 2 for recycling. But we're not going to get 7 for fabricate. I want to do the green upgrades because I need them for natural language processing, but I also want to do the upgrades that are actually going to help me. I think getting this pink upgrade is going to be really useful for now. But let's try to get more upgrades as we go. Alright, so then we move up to assembly, so we can build Shredder. He's going down here. For, he costs us... We got 6, so he costs us 1 green resource. And we're just immediately going to upgrade him as well. Is that right? Yeah, because he wants to be next to robots. And so you might think this bottom corner is bad for him. But actually, for the purposes of adjacency, the rows wrap around, but they don't wrap end to end. So what that means is Shredder is adjacent to Miyagi and Horton currently. So that's 2 of the potential 3. And then how much energy did I say we had for this? We've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's fine. I can't afford anything else. I can. I can afford Hollywood. Or I could ditch 5 resources and 3 signals and my duct tape to make grams. Grams, who activates an adjacent robot, ignoring the energy requirements. Yes, let's do that. Let's spend 5 energy and 3 signals, which is borderline everything I've got, to put grams in here. This also means I actually need to ditch something, so we'll ditch Control Copy. I like him, he's cool, but I don't have it. I don't. It's a bit too aspirational. Good, that cost me everything. So now we go over to design, where I've got 3, and I don't have a way to boost it, so sadly I'm not going to get to trigger much of my... I'm not going to get to draw my extra cards, but that's fine. So we do get 1 energy, 1 battery, and 1 purple resource, and then we get to come over here, we get to spend this guy, get one of each of these and also a card, which is Foresight. He's a Connect 4 owl, and I love him. He lets you do upgrades and build robots. So this means you can spend one resource of any type, plus the resources shown in the cheaper column of the robot, to just immediately assemble it. And then also you'd have to pay the resource cost for the space, if there was one. That's pretty strong. But we might be getting towards too late in the game to build Foresight, even though I love him. So that was Miyagi resolved. Did I pay the cog cost? I think I did, but I better do it anyway just because I'm not sure. Damn it. You tell me. I can have it back. And then we get to spend one of these to get a duct tape and 2 points. From Pong. Thanks, Pong. Alright, now we're down to Fabricate, where we're on 3 energy. We definitely want to go up to 4 to trigger Horton, so we'll spend that. So we're going to get 1 microchip, I think. And then we'll take a cog. And then Horton gives us now 3 signals. He's fully surrounded. And, oh yeah, we definitely want to pop this out as well. Upgrade the koala. That's like one of the reasons I took it. Okay, and then it's over here to Jar Jar to give us a call as well. And now we're down here into Recycle, where once again we've got 2 energy, which I can't boost. So we're gonna get 2 energy from the top row here. Then we can't trigger Shredder, but we can come over here to Grams and trigger Grams as a lower one for 2, which lets us turn on Shredder without paying the energy cost. So then we can have 3 duct tape, which is amazing. Shredder just producing duct tape like a shark. Not Watto Haggers. No, it's the is it Bespin? No, Bespin's Cloud City. It's one of the spies. There's a spy, like, who's spying on them in Mos Eisley, in the New Hope, in the 4th movie. So, and he looks like this guy. Right. So that's all the resources gathered. That's all done. So we're back to end of round. And let's just go through those steps then. So these are done. And these are done. And we get some new ones. So we're going to have 1 energy cube here. 2 energy cubes over here. Oh, big round. Okay, so what's the plan for this round? I think we want to get Sparky built. Get Sparky upgraded so you get lots of points. Sparky wants to be adjacent to robots that are worth 3 and 4 points. Oh, sad. I've kind of blocked up all of my spaces. What I'm hearing here is I need to build lots of robots. I want to build Sparky and Hollywood. I need 4... I mean, I've got lots of duct tape, so I can actually afford to build both of these. I just need 4 energy. Can I afford to build anyone else? Yes! Potentially I can also build Camo. Does Camo trigger Sparky? Oh no. Hollywood doesn't trigger Sparky. Hollywood's too expensive. Grams triggers Sparky. And Camo triggers Sparky. So we can build both of those. So Sparky wants to be next to robots that are worth 3 or 4 points. 3 to 4 points. And Hollywood's worth 5. So actually, these are the only two. So we can still get Sparky out. If we can get both of these built this round, that would be good. So let's take a big assemble action. And let's keep going with the upgrades, because that's what our classes are in. I also need a bit more energy. I seem to start... Actually, do you know what? Design... Not getting design up to 4 only really cost me 1 energy. It's fine. Okay, so that's my choice. And then we've got coming up here, fabricate and recycle. Okay. So over here in the world of upgrades, we've got a total of 3 energy. So we can spend 3 things. I think I might just start ditching robot cards, because I don't think I'm going to get to make too many of these, and I'm going to get to draw more anyway. So I'm actually going to ditch Beaker, Hollywood, and a Stair to do an upgrade. And the upgrade is going to be points. I need an orange chip. We should also be doing green chips though. I think let's do this green chip just because that's... I mean, we're only going to get 3 more rounds this round plus 2 more, but that's still wild resource, which is helpful. And the green chips get us points. No, we need an orange chip to upgrade Sparky. Let's take this one. I like upgrading the energy levels. It's just helpful for us. Okay, so that's that puts us on a total of 7 upgrades, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So we're close to C in artificial intelligence. All right, now here we are in assembly. For assembly, we've got 6. We've got 6 currently. For 8, we can have cheap Sparky and cheap Camo. So let's just do that. We'll spend 2 batteries to go up to 8. We can't have cheap Sparky. We can have cheap Camo, who's going to go into here. And we can have expensive Sparky, who's going into here. So expensive Sparky wants to have 3 signals, so this is done, and 2 cogs, which we can afford. Cheap Camo just wants 1 chip, so that's done. And now we need to find 4 other resources, which I didn't really consider, if I'm honest. So here's 2 of them. And then I guess it's just the duct tape, because that's what it's there for. So there we go. And now we've got the orange chip to upgrade Sparky. We can start getting some points off of that as well. We just need to make sure we get 3 in fabricate. Well, we get 3 in fabricate by default. So that's good. Alright, so that's assembly done. Now we're into design, where we've got 3 and no energy again. So it's just going to be 1 of these and 1 energy battery. That's good. And over here we can spend this guy to get this and a card, which is Inception. He's a living VR headset. Actually, his feet are Sega Genesis controllers and his body's a PlayStation 1. Cool. Not all that useful though. He lets us trade cards for programming, which we don't really need too much of. So that was Miyagi we've just done. And now we get to go over here to Pong, where we'll spend 1 of these to get this and also 2 points. And now we get to go over to Camo, who we've got 3 on. So we just draw a card. I actually forgot we made Camo. It was just to trigger Sparky, though. Oh, Vapor! There's ice phones. I think they're supposed to be smartphones. I like his little tire tracks. He's well cute. Alright, and now it's down to fabricate, where we've got 4 by default, which is fine. That lets us trigger everything we want. So down here, I think we'll take one of these guys. Down here, we'll take one of these guys. So that's a chip, and then a cog. And then we go over to Horton, who gives us 3 signal. Then we get another cog from Jar Jar. And then Sparky triggers. He's triggering at level 2, which is 3 points. So we go up to 9, which is nice. And now we're into Recycle, which is currently at 4. We've got +1, so that's 5. Not that it matters too much. We get 2 energy, but I guess we'll spend 1 for duct tape. So we get 1 energy, 1 duct tape, and then we still can't afford to trigger Shredder, but we can use grams to trigger Shredder for 3 batteries. For 3 more duct tape. Excellent. Okay, and that's the end of the round. So we'll just do our little bits of cleanup. Done. Done. All of you are done. Get out of here. Design. Never got to play design. Okay, so we want to get another card next to Sparky. That costs... Oh, I lied. I actually don't get to have 3 points from Sparky. I only get 2. That's sad. Because Jar Jar doesn't count. So we need... Actually, we do need cards. We've got no more cards to put next to Sparky to up his points output. We've got 1 blue upgrade. So actually, building Foresight would be quite good, because A, he's worth a lot of points, and B, he actually lets us build robots on the cheap, and he wants a blue upgrade, which we happen to have. So let's focus this round on design to get more cards to try and trigger Sparky's combos, and we'll focus on getting Foresight built, because he lets us get robots and do upgrades, both of which we want to do. Good. Although his top ability is really useful if you're playing the normal game, because it means you can do upgrades outside of the upgrade step. So if you didn't play this card, then you get to do this. But because we're John and we get to do every step, then it's less useful. It'd also be nice to have Blush, because she gets us more energy, but I just don't see us getting 7 energy for design. We've literally never done it. Okay, that's the final set of the AI cards set up. Round 7. Alright, so what was I talking about? I was saying let's just focus on getting Foresight built and also a big design round so that we can have more cards. There we go. And okay, so I think Foresight actually will be super easy to do. It's just expensive. Because we default to 4 energy in assembly. He costs 1. I guess it'd be nice to have him at the discount. Sorry, 1 to trigger the build action on him, 5 to trigger the next level. But the side discount, but I'm not sure if it's even necessary because we've got 4. I mean, I guess we can spend 1 to go up to 5. Do I want to try to build Inception? I don't think so. I need cards, and it's expensive. We'll just build Foresight. So if I put Assembly in here, then actually I'm already doing that. And then we said we'd have a big turn for Design, I think. Make sure we get cards. Yeah, because we want to get up to 4 energy for that. And then the rest of these can just live down here. It's fine. Alright, cool. So let's see what the AI is... Oh, actually, I'll do mine first. So I get to put 2 into Design and 1 into Assembly. And then the AI is doing 1 more into Assembly. Don't need it. And 2 into Fabricate, which is helpful. Alright, so we go up to Upgrade, where we've got 2 energy. Right, so to build Foresight, we just need 3 signals, which is the 2 signals, programming, 3 programming. And we've got 2 and a duct tape, so that's fine. So either we spend a battery to do a cheaper upgrade, or we do the 4 upgrade twice, potentially as well. Which I'm quite inclined to do, actually, because we need to get our upgrades on to get our classes done. Yeah, so let's do it. Let's spend 1 green token, 1 chip, and 3 of these guys. That's 5 already. I'll ditch Vapor and Inception. And Blush. Sad. Sorry, Blush. But that gets us 3 more, and that puts us on 8, so we get to do 2 upgrades. And I think the upgrades are probably both green. Actually, do you know what? We'll do 1 green one, which will be from Recycle, because I'm never going to get 7 in Fabricate. Even though this turn I'm actually on 5 already. And then let's do one of these, because I want to have the 3rd class card, just to see if I can get more points. Let's take... yellow or pink. I actually don't really care. Let's take yellow, because then we can upgrade Orton and get points instead of signals, because I think now we want points. So that was 2 more upgrades. That's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 upgrades we've done. So this is going to tick up to here, and this is going to tick up to here as well, because we've done 3 green. And then for our ingenious moment, we'll pick this option here, which is 3 class cards, keep 1. Let's see if we can find something that we sort of already had a go at. Alright, so this class card wants us to have purple robots. We have 3, so we qualify for the bottom row. This one wants us to have robots that cost programming or produce programming. We've got 2 robots that cost programming. That's not very good. And this wants us to have duct tape. Well, we're really good at producing duct tape. We actually have 7 at the moment. So let's take that. Okay, so that's the end of upgrades. Now we'll go up to assembly. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for assembly. We've only got 1 robot card left, and it's Horton. And he costs 3 programming. And now we need 3 more resources, actually. to put him down somewhere. And the reason he's going into the purple line is because I want to save these spots for things that'll trigger Sparky. So that's 3 to put him down there, which is expensive. But there's no other way. 3 duct tape. Yikes. Okay. Now we're over to design, where we're on 4, 5. We're on 5. Question is, do I want to go up to 6 to trigger Foresight's bottom ability? I'd have to upgrade him as well. Sure. I'm going to gamble. I'm going up to 6 because we might draw cards that we want to play with Foresight's bottom ability. It's a gamble. But if we don't, we'd have to upgrade him as well. We have the upgrade token. So it's just a question of whether or not... it's just a question of whether or not we actually want to do that. So anyway, we'll go through the steps. 1 battery, 1 signal, and then 2 cards and another battery. We've got Uno, who's just straight points. And he's too expensive. We need 3s and 4s. And Chill! Hooray! A 3. So, I don't think we'll be able to afford... Oh, we could afford Chill. Yeah, we could. We could definitely play Chill next to... No, we can't afford him because of this cost on the board. This placement cost. But let's keep going. Maybe we'll get some more. So that's the first 2. And then we've got Miyagi. So we spend the chip, and we get a programming, a battery, and a card. Oh, I don't... Oh, no, it doesn't matter. Yeah. So we've got Oz, who's also 3, but actually plus 5 because we need 2 here. And then also 3 for the placement. Discard a card for 2 wild resources, though. I like it. He's a puppet theater, which is kind of cool. I guess that makes sense because it's Oz, right? Even though he's doing the 3 bears. So that was Miyagi. Now we're on to Pong, and Pong's just going to spend a battery to get duct tape and 2 points. That gets us 10, so we get the 10-point marker. We put it on 1 to show we have 10. This comes off. And then we've got over to Camo. So I've got an option here to upgrade Camo and draw 3 cards. But I've got enough cards here, I think, already. And I don't really want to use my green upgrade when I could use it here for extra credit. So I'm just saving that, I think, instead. So just draw the 1 card. See what we get. It's... Lollipop. He's cool, but he's also too many points for Sparky. Although really, actually, I don't know why I'm working so hard to trigger Sparky's powers when I could just be building more valuable robots and get the points that way, and it kind of works out the same thing. There's something about the idea of the combo that's really appealing. Anyway, I could definitely build a robot, so we might as well upgrade Foresight. And then we have to pay 4 resources of any kind, plus the cost of the robot, to put it down. And it's got to be Chill. It's got to be Chill going in here. So... that's 4 resources of any type. Well, I can't afford it, but only just. Because we need 2 signals to pay for chill. So there's the 2 signals. And then it's got to be 4 resources of any type, which can actually be 2 cards. And I guess we'll get rid of the programming because it's just less good than the duct tape. So there we go. So we've built one more robot there anyway, and we've triggered a little combo with Sparky, which is nice. Good. So we're now into Fabricate, where we've got 5 currently. I don't think there's any need to go over 5, so we'll stick with it. We'll take one of these guys. We'll take one of these guys. We'll upgrade Horton. So now, instead of 3 signals, we're going to get 3 batteries and, crucially, 3 points. And then we get one more cog from Jar Jar. We come over here to Sparky, who's now got 2 qualifying guys next to him, so we get 3 more points. And then we'll come over here to Chill, where we can pay one of our cogs and have 2 duct tape. Oh. Could have upgraded him instead of Horton. But actually we would have lost to duct tape and it would have been effectively the same. And the energy's nice to have. Alright, and now we're down here into recycle. We've got 2 for recycle. The question is, do we want to go up to 7 to just blitz the duct tape? I think the answer is yes. So I'll pay, we've got 2, we want to go up to 7, so I pay 5. So we drop down here to go up to 7. Oh, we've got one here as well, actually, so that's 3. So we only need to pay 4. So we pay 4 energy to go up to 7 energy. And then we get to get 2 back from the first row. Down here we're going to spend this. We get a duct tape and a wild. I think for the wild we might as well take a card. Because I'm not really sure what else to do, to be honest. Oh good, a green robot. I actually wanted this. Rose. Oh, she's nice. Is she a foot massager? And a scented candle? And then she's massage things. Well, this lets us pay for points. So if we can get Rose out, that'd be great. It doesn't combo with Sparky, but maybe we're past that. I think trying to combo Sparky too hard might just... So that, she wants us to have programming and things, but we've got loads of duct tape, so maybe we can make... well, they're both 6-point robots as well, which is nice. So that's good. We can make either Uno or Rose or both next round, which will be good. So... that was draw a card. So now we're over here. We're on 7, so we can trigger Shredder for 3 duct tape, and we can trigger Grams to trigger Shredder again, for a total of 6 duct tape, which puts us on 11. So this flips over to the plus 10 on the back, and comes down here to show we're on 11. Nice. And that's the end. Oh, we're on 7 actually, so we get 1 point as well from this bottom row, which I've never triggered yet. Good, and that's the end of Recycle and the end of the round. And so we're going to go into the final round. Exciting stuff. To see what the final score is, and then we get to do a bunch of math. So, these are done. And these are done too. And we'll go over here and see what we get. It's bonus. And also bonus. That's good. That's going into the final round. That's, we can kind of predict what might be coming up, so we can at least pick one thing we want to be really good. Let's have a quick update over here as well on our classes, because that's another thing we should be focusing on. So we're currently on 11 duct tape, which puts us up here on B. We might have to spend some of it though. We've got 3 green upgrades, so we want to try and get that green upgrade. And we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 upgrades as well. So if we can get one more here, if we can get the green upgrade, and actually the green upgrade buffs us up here and up here. It'd be nice to do 2 though. And then I think we'll get one more duct tape. We just need to be careful not to spend too much. I think we might be on track to max out all of the class cards, or at least get close to the top of most of them. So that's pretty good, actually. Right. So that's the actual end of round, except the robot moves into the final spot. So we want probably to have quite a lot of energy for upgrading because we need the upgrades, and then I guess recycle would be good to have high up, just because it gets us loads of duct tape. It'd be good to have high assembly as well, so we can actually make some robots though. So we don't have much resources other than duct tape. And the robots are points. Points is prizes. So we do need to think about what the AI's got left though. The AI's done assemble, so there's no point in putting assemble down here. We need, or fabricate for that matter. So we know it's going to be either upgrade, design, or recycle. In terms of energy values, a high recycle is worth more to me because it gets us duct tape for the duct tape card if I'm going to spend it. So let's pop a recycle down there and see what we get. And then we'll see what the AI is doing. Oh, it's got an upgrade. That's good. And it's got... Oh, it's a design. Damn. Never mind. So, we can begin the round with upgrade. And for upgrade, we've got 4 energy, which is less than I would have liked. Let's see, what have we got for assemble? For assemble, we've just got 4. So I need... Everything's so expensive. I've not got a lot of resources going to this final round. If I want to maximize the class cards, I need 1 more upgrade, and I need to take green, which means I'm not going to be able to max out the middle card because I need a blue upgrade. But I will be able to max out this one, and I'll probably be able to max out this too. I mean, I'm going to generate 7 duct tape. So as long as I only spend 6, I'll max out the bottom one. Right, so if we're only spending 6 duct tape, if we make Rose, she costs 6 duct tape and 3 energy. We've got 3 energy already. So that means realistically I've actually only got 1 or 2 points here. But I've got 3. And if I spend 2 batteries, that takes me up to 5. So then I can spend my 1 microchip, which I don't have earmarked for anything else, and Uno, who we're not going to be able to build, to do 1 upgrade, which has to be the green from here. So that lets us tick up here, and we can pop it down here as well. But not going to matter right now. I do have this 1 green upgrade here that I haven't actually used for anything. The only place I can put it, though, is over here on camo. It's not really doing anything, but I might as well use it. Alright, so that was upgrade. Now we're up to assemble, where we're on 4. We only need 3. So we're making rows. We need 2 chips, 2 programming, and 2 wild. That's just going to be 6 duct tape. We go down to 5, so we're on 11. Sad. But don't worry, it'll all come back around. So now we're over here on design, where we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do we need any more than 5? No. No, we don't. We could do another upgrade here actually with foresight if we have enough resources. Let's find out. We might. So we're on 5. So we get purple and a battery. We get 3 cards. 2 cards and another battery, actually. And the cards are... Oh, Wakey Wakey! Oh, I love him. Look, his stomach's a billows. And he's got a harmonica in his mouth. So he's like... That's his lungs, so he can play the harmonica. His head's an alarm clock. He's got a horn and a... Yeah, he's great. I don't want to get up, though. And then it's Sparkle, who's also great. So there's our happy little robots. Now we're over here. We can spend this token here to get one more of these and one more of these and a card. I don't know why I'm still doing that. I really don't need to trigger all these things. Python. Oh, that's cool. His head's a mousetrap. His neck's a clarinet. His tail's, I don't know, whatever that is, bells. He's one of the pets as well. And he gets you more duct tape. Okay, over here on Pong, we're going to spend one of these to get a duct tape and 2 of these. I forgot we got a duct tape from this. Sorry about that. Just sneezing. Over here on Camo, we're going to get another 3 cards. I don't know. I don't need all these cards. I can't do anything with them. But here's Gaffer. So he blows glass, I guess. He's got a little paint pot up here to make paint. He's got some duct tape over here to help him out. I guess his body is kind of air. Like pump. Stockpile. He's a walking stock market. He's got stonks in the background. And Control P. If only we had Control C still, then we'd have the pair. And he's made of pencils, so he can paste the information that you copied with Control C. Alright, nice one. There's our guys. So, that was Camo. Now we're on to Foresight. So yeah, I think we should do another upgrade, actually, because we can do the blue upgrade and get the top marks for natural language processing. So that's 5 points. So we'll trade in 3 cards. I mean, we could also feasibly build another robot, but it's quite expensive, and I also don't really see the value in it. Yeah, so trade in 3 cards. Doesn't matter who, because we're not making anything more. In order to grab the upgrade from Foresight, and we'll take the blue upgrade. Are we going to get up to 7 energy in Recycle? We're on 2. We've got 3 here. No, we're not. The answers we're not. So we might as well go here and get 1 extra resource. Even though it's not really worth much. Okay. Grand. And then that's the end of that. So we're over here into Fabricate now, where we're on 3. Do we want to... We need 4, actually, to trigger Horton and Chill. So we'll spend 1 battery to go up to 4. Yeah, we can't even get to 7, which is a pity. So we're going to get meaningless resource. We might as well take this guy because we need it for Chill, but we're going to get more anyway. Take another one. Doesn't matter. And then we get one of these, which I guess will take a microchip. And then we can trigger Horton. Oh, we might get up to 7 for Recycle, because Horton, I forgot Horton's going to give us 3 batteries. Oh, we can definitely get up to 7 for Recycle. Okay, screw it. We'll take this and we'll drop that. We don't need it. Because I forgot Horton's going to give us energy. So that's 3 points from Horton, which puts us on to 119. So 3 puts us on 22. And... No, wait, I didn't get up to... Oh, no, I'm here. So then we get 3 from... 3 energy from Horton as well. We get 1 cog from Jar Jar. And then Sparky triggers at level 2 for 3 more points. And then chill triggers top level, spending this to get us 2 more of these. 2 more duct tape. Sadly, we don't have the upgrade to triple bottom. And then we're into recycle, where we're on 3. We can spend 4 to go up to 7. And then we're going to get 2 more batteries. We're going to be able to spend 1 battery for a duct tape. And a wild, we can take a card just so you guys can see more robots. It's Blockbuster! He's directing movies. His face is movie cameras. And I think his mouth's a DVD player. And his body is and feet are VHS. Which you kids wouldn't know anything about. There's actually no kids that watch my show. Almost the entire demographics older than I am. I'm pretty old. Over here, then we're down here, so 3 more points, and then we're on to Shredder. We got up to 7, so we get to have 3 duct tape, so that goes up to 12, and then we get to trigger Koala for 3 more duct tape, so it goes up to 15. Bing, 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 way off the charts. Well, this is off the charts, and this is also off the charts. There we go. We've done everything. The final thing is to spend 1 of these for 2 points from Rose. And that, my friends, is the end of the game. We're just into the final scoring. So, we don't need any of this anymore. We can put John. Because we were John, weren't we? We were John the scientist. So this is total robots on the board, which is 5, 8, 11, 17, 20, 26, 30, 33, 37, 41, 47. And then it's the class cards. So we managed to get maxed out because I don't think we actually got to 12 upgrades, but then we've got the extra credit. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We did 11 upgrades, 1 short, but we got extra credit, so we get to take the 1 level higher than where we should be at. So that's 14 points. And then we've got natural language processing. We got 4, which is a B, but we got extra credit to go up to the A, so that's another 14 points. And we've got 15 duct tape, which is way more than 12, so that's 13 points as well. So that's really nice. So that gives us a total of 4, 8, 11, and 30 for 41. Points on your game board. We got 30. So I think that is a higher score than my last one already, so that's good. And finally, leftover bits, which includes duct tape. So that's 1, 3, 5, 20, divide by 3 is 6. And so we're on 88, 118, 124. I'm glad we beat the previous score. I would have felt real bad if we hadn't. Have I done that right? I've definitely done that right, haven't I? And so then we get to check our solo game challenge here. 124 puts us solidly in the epic category. We went from amateur, skipped right over heroic into epic. It's good. Feels good to be epic, especially according to a table. There is a solo challenge where you basically play 3 games back to back and match up all of your scores, but you don't reset any of the decks, so you get to see like different cards every time. And that's the scoring for the solo modes there. There's also a variant for 2 players to help sort of sort this to simulate like an extra player. So for 2 players, you'd use something similar to this, just with fewer cubes. And then there's also an inventor bidding variant here, which is for people that know the game better. If you think the inventors aren't fully balanced, you can have a variant there as well to do that. So that is Raising Robots. This was the review copy that Nauvoo Games gave me, and you can see kind of how it is similar to Wingspan in the sense that you are triggering rows and you're building an engine in the rows that you trigger. You can see the differences as well in the way the energy works. This whole sort of action selection system obviously actually feels more like Race for the Galaxy, because you're putting into it's sort of like inverted Race, where in Race you get if you pick the action, you get a better version of it. If someone else picked it, you get a less good version of it, so you're trying to predict what they're going to pick. In this version, again, if they don't have the bonus cubes, it doesn't matter. So you look for whoever's revealed the cards with the bonus cubes on, and then you're trying to pick what card they're going to play into that, because then you're going to get some less good version of that action, that step. So then where do you put yours? I don't know how much scope there is for that, because I've not yet played with other people. But what this also does is all the adminning of this board, which is the second phase of the round, is all simultaneous. So actually, the only time you're really paying attention to what anyone else is doing is during this first phase of the round, where you're picking these cards and distributing energy. So I'm hoping that's quite a big deal, because it'd be nice, I think, to have that sort of focus on what the other players are doing, because once you get to this simultaneous resolution, that's going to speed the game up and keep the downtime low, which I appreciate, particularly in tableau builders. But at the same time, it's going to at the same time, it's if this isn't having enough impact, then there's not a whole lot you really are interested in terms of what the other players are doing. But you want to also, like, obviously what's nice is if you're trying to predict what cards they're going to play, you can look over and see which rows they've been developing in their player board. Michael says, my only worry is the random energy card draw, otherwise looks good. Yeah, I mean, I think if you were into tableau builders, this is a really nice one. Like, I think immediately I'm drawn. So I think the obvious comparison for me, actually a more obvious comparison, is Earth, because Earth had the simultaneous play. Like, Wingspan doesn't have the simultaneous play. Wingspan is fundamentally simpler. I mean, I've already said, I think, on the show that I would have moved my copy of Wingspan on if it wasn't for the fact that my partner really likes to play it. I'm not sure if she'd be into this, because I just think the extra overhead and the sort of the number of steps you kind of have to go through, particularly on your own, I just don't think it would appeal that much to her. And I do think that obviously Wingspan has, in the action selection system, so it's just got less overhead. So it doesn't need to be simultaneous play. I appreciate that Wingspan therefore has quite a lot of downtime, which is probably one of the reasons I would have sold it, because I do like engine builders fundamentally, and I also do like the art of Wingspan, which is a huge selling point, right? Which again, this is also got really nice art, and the production's really nice. Again, I got to play with the deluxe version, which I do really appreciate. The only difference, as far as I can tell, is the wooden tokens, these nice wooden tokens here, that would be cardboard chits. This is a cardboard chit in the non-deluxe version. These are in the retail, as far as I can tell. These are not deluxe. So it's nice to have these big chunky plastic energy cubes. Those are cool. I like those a lot. Otherwise, I think it's and the pets, which are actually all of the cards we saw that do absolute nonsense. So these all this iconography that we're talking about, where things are triggering things next to them and looking at things orthogonally adjacent to them. So all of this iconography is all on the pets. So that adds quite a lot of complexity that I'm fine with, but I think and John, of course, was an inventor from the Pets pack as well. So we went sort of heavy extra complexity for this particular playthrough, just because that's how it worked out. But you don't. I think Pets will be available at retail as an extra pack to pick up, but it comes with the deluxe Kickstarter version as well. So not included in the retail. But all you get in Pets is some more of these, which are these are all tokens that are used for the inventors. And all Pets is otherwise is more robot cards and more inventors. But yeah, so going back to Wingspan, I think, I really like the bird facts. I really like the bird art. I really like to actually learn something about the world. And I think that's part of what's super appealing about it as a gateway game. I also think if you haven't seen sort of engine building mechanisms before, that's really appealing. I'm not sure if I particularly like the Wingspan expansions. I actually find the Nectar adds a little bit too much overhead, and it also, I feel, kind of undermines some of the challenge of the game, which is the basic resource management, It adds in the point scoring for the rows, which is nice, so you get these nectars collecting in the rows, and then you get points for that in the end game. But I don't know, for me, where Wingspan fits, because if I want a more complicated engine builder, I'll go to Race. I mean, that's my favorite, I think. I really, really like Race for the Galaxy. Or, I mean, I can also happily play Terraforming Mars or Ark Nova. But those are both much longer. The solo mode of this is short. I think the simultaneous play will also keep this way shorter, half the time of any of those other ones, which is appealing. So yeah, I'd like to play again. I'd like to play it with other people. I do like this system a lot, and I really hope it has I really hope it brings sort of a bit more interest to the table. I'd like to see this phase sort of being dwelt on a little bit by people. I'd like them to sort of get to the end of the simultaneous phase and sort of look over and sort of go, oh, what's going on over there? What are you guys doing? What cards should I play now? So hopefully that manifests. But yeah, definitely happy to give this a try. And I do really like the presentation and the art. And I do really like the flow of this system. Once you've got it down, it's actually quite straightforward to go through and execute. So that's nice as well. Yeah, Michael, I mean, TM, but TM is also like, 4 hours. Like, you can get it down lower if people know it really well, and if you're only playing the core set and you include Prelude. But TM is just long. Ark Nova is shorter, I think, but the people have an issue with the giant deck of cards being unpredictable, right? And I appreciate that that's, a fundamental balancing point. I think I said about Ark Nova, if you've got two players of equal skill, then it's just a game of luck. Which you could say about any game, really. So, I think, but I think the other thing that bothers people about Ark Nova is, I want to roll these, they feel like dice. The other thing that puts people off Ark Nova is the starting cards, right? Like, you get the animals, and you get or you just get a bunch of random cards. And the game is like, pick a couple of animals and a couple of consultants, or whatever they're called, the blue cards. And then if you get good ones that you can play early, cheap animals, things like that, that can give you a big head start. And if you don't, then you're just a bit in trouble. But I've always enjoyed playing Ark Nova. I only played it 2. I don't think I'd want to play it more, but I do really enjoy playing it. Again, with my partner, she likes that one too, so she'll play that one. So I guess maybe she likes tableau builders, actually. I never thought about it. Maybe she just likes animals. Wingspan and Arc Nova, anything with animals is a good sell. I'll have to find out if she'd be into cute robots. Maybe we can give this one a go. But that's going to be it for me for today. I think I've enjoyed Rising Robots. I think the one thing about, I don't know how available it is. I saw these Kickstarter copies with all the Kickstarter bits going for a lot of money, and I would just counsel patience. Nauvoo is a new company. I think this might be their first game. I'm not sure about that, so don't quote me on it, but I've not heard of them before. They reached out to me and offered to send me this, asking nothing in return, which I always appreciate when publishers just want to get their game out there, and it shows a lot of confidence in their product, which is nice. And so I imagine they will be reprinting it. So I wouldn't go out and spend a ton of money trying to find it on the secondhand market. Sort of counsel patience. Nauvoo will probably reprint it and have copies available. Just coming back to Michael's comments here on Arc Nova. The card luck doesn't bother me in the least, but I'm used to deck builders. Those have much more randomness. Yeah, it doesn't bother me either. It's a subjective thing, I think, honestly. Like, I think some people are really put off by it, and other people just aren't bothered by it. And it just doesn't bother me. But I know some people would be bothered by it, and this tries to get around it by offering you the big spread. So this doesn't Earth a thing, like Earth did it, where you draw a bunch of cards at the start, and then you get to sort of make up your opening situation. This almost has like a Prelude sort of esque, going back to the Terraforming Mars expansion of Prelude, where you start with some stuff. This starts you with some stuff. It's like, okay, now you've picked your opening card draft, also have a free upgrade and build 2 robots. And so you're sort of getting a bit of momentum at the start as well, which is nice. I appreciate that. There is something quite nice about Terraforming Mars where you just start with nothing, and you have to kind of, come from nothing, but it does slow down the start a lot. But one of the reasons why I think it's quite nice in Terraforming Mars is because players have agency over the end game, because it ends when you terraform the planet, which is quite nice. Whereas obviously this and Wingspan and Arc Nova players also have agency over the end game, which is nice. But in Wingspan, it's a fixed number of rounds, Earth players also have agency over it, but I found Earth in real life was quite unappealing. It didn't work for me, unfortunately. The first time I played Earth, I was quite enthusiastic about it, but that was on Paul's channel, Gaming Rules, for the Kickstarter campaign. He invited me to just come and participate in that. I quite enjoyed playing it there, but in real life, I just found it was so solitary. It was such parallel play. And again, that's like subjective, right? Like some people like to just sit and do the puzzle together, and that's fine. But the other problem I had with it, which was more about the mechanisms, was I really liked the idea of building the 16 card tableau. So in Earth, what you're doing is you're putting cards into a 16 card grid 4x4. You can start anywhere, but then you have to go out parallel to what you've already built. And when you trigger actions, you get to go through the grid. Much like in this, you sort of do a row. So you're sort of building your engine to combo along the rows. In Earth, what you're doing is you're going to get to do actions in the order. And I was hoping that sort of dilemma around where you put the actions within the 16 card grid would be a big deal. But it just never really manifested that way. It never reaches sort of a combo-tastic bonanza. And I think if you tried to really focus on doing that, then it would come at too high a cost, because there's so many other things that are looking at the placement of those cards within that grid which can be terrains that score things based on where they are, or different icons being in the right positions and things like that. So, you know, it just never really manifested that puzzle in the way I was hoping it would. And I still have my copy of Earth, but I will sell it. I'm not gonna, I've just not got around to it. But I will move Earth on. It's just not for me. Anyway, that's it. That's going to wrap it up. Thanks everyone so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next stream. And thanks everyone for your patience with me while I've been getting my life sorted out as well. I talked a bit about that on the Patreon. I'll probably come back and talk about that a little bit more over there. But I hope you've enjoyed the stream. I'll see you all in the next videos. So thanks for watching. Bye for now. And Happy New Year!